Hi, all, and thanks for being with me. I'm going to pose a really interesting question today, and that really is something perhaps that none of you might have thought of until now. But whatever happened to wokeness? So it occurred to me the other day. I was watching James O'Brien, to be quite frank, and James raised the issue as to where is all the outrage around wokeness, and it occurred to me that there is none. That we're not hearing any more this loud, voluminous response from the right around what is woke, and that there are all these people on the left who are emphatically insisting that they be heard, that we actually focus on things such as equity, integrity, fairness, having a fair go, and looking after those people that are the most disadvantaged in our community. Those days seem to have gone. And the thing I've been thinking about is, well, why? Why are we not focusing on that anymore? And it occurred to me that in a sense, I think we are. So wokeness is something that was pronounced when the right became upset about all things that were DEI. But since the Trump administration has chosen to abolish anything that has to do with diversity, equity, inclusion, when it has focused on abolishing things such as the Smithsonian Institute, and particularly in relation to African American history, when one looks at the fact that they're attacking anybody or any reference to anything that is gay, including some stupid stuff around the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, that for some reason the notions around wokeness have disappeared from the right wing dialogue. So, or discourse, I should say. So, for some reason, it has all vanished. And it seems to me that the reason why this has happened is because there's so many of us now fighting back against what the right wing are now implementing in terms of their Project 25 agenda. That there's so much angst just trying to keep up with the chaos that is Trump. So many people are now trying to fight to simply have their jobs reinstated, that they're fighting in courts about people being sent to Venezuela and to other places around the world, that there's this rounding up of people, obscure people who have US citizenship, who have the right to be in the United States, are being rounded up and deported. So, and now we have the discussion, the continual discussion around tariffs, and it seems to be able to. We all seem to be able to, or we all seem to get sucked into this idea that there is so much happening that we can't fight back against the things that initially we thought were important, which were the fact that we believed in and wanted to uphold an equitable and fair society, and that we were busily wanting to implement programs which suggested that having an equitable and fair society was the way to go. But somehow we seem to have been overshadowed by, encompassed in, and washed away with notions of anti woke behaviour. And in that space, we just don't seem to be able to have the time or the effort anymore to talk about the things that we believed were important. Forget about wokeness for a second. Let's just think about it as being issues which pertain to the most vulnerable people in our community. we have failed. We have failed to fight back for them. And one of the issues for me has been that the Democrats, and I hate to admit it, but here in Australia, the Labor Party to some extent and to the Progressives aren't fighting back hard enough against some of those right-wing perspectives that are about diminishing the individual's rights, abolishing their freedom of speech, and eventually encasing them and incarcerating them in places that they should not be incarcerated, simply because they believe something that is different to somebody else. And of course, this fear that people have that at the end of the day they're going to be attacked, that they're going to be vilified, and that eventually they may be incarcerated, simply because the right wing now have their hands around the throat of the left. And we have allowed that to happen. And we must do whatever we can to combat that, because the reality is it is damaging. It's damaging to all of us. And we must find ways. Now, even here in Australia, one wonders how significant it is. We have an election at the moment where there's some Trumpist notions occurring, and that there is an effort to be able to change the discourse so that we're talking about things which are kind of Trumpist, which are about doing away with human rights, discounting human dignity, and ensuring at the end of the day that the things that we normally adhere to, the things that we value, become watered down because of the chaos created by someone like Trump or by the right wing. So this is something I think we all need to start to think about, is to what extent does chaos cause us to ignore the very things that matter to us the most? Because we spend so much time fighting against them, we have very little time to start to articulate those things that are important to us. And the energy that we're using now is about fighting against all the chaotic things that are coming out of Trump, which affect all of us, including tariffs. So we need to, I think, reevaluate where we stand around many of these issues. And we need to find ways to fight back. And, me, in my little channel, are hoping that perhaps I can help some people to start to think about these things differently, so that we can fight back and that we can eventually make a difference for those people who don't have a voice. Now, that's kind of been my mantra my whole career, is about giving people a voice who don't have it. And I'm planning, through my YouTube channel, to do that, to give you a voice so that you can talk about it. So in order to do that, comment below. I'll be happy to read any of the comments that you make and comment back on them. Let me know what you think, and please remember to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for further notifications. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.